planners tend to have a very territorial spatial imagination and practice. They think about setting up zones of preferred land use and looking at developments within particular sites. One of the challenges when thinking about issues like climate change is many of the impacts and processes actually span many sites. There are a series of attempts to address this. One of the strategies is to maybe try and expand the sort of territorial unit that you're thinking about, so that you're not just sort of focused around very small sites. One of the challenges maybe is about actually how those decisions at bigger scales connect into individual land users and people living in particular spaces. A second response that planners have often developed is to put obligations around developments, to require developers to do certain extra activities as a condition of approval for their proposals. A potential problem with obligations is they often implicitly adopt a sort of spatialised or territorialised focus. So the focus is on what a developer might do in the area just surrounding a particular development. The Landscape Decision Programme has a series of projects examining a range of those sorts of challenges. A third strategy that's been adopted is to try and adopt some form of partnership. This has the advantage of widening the sort of territorial focus of planning considerations, and also often involves engagement with landowners and people using land. They actually have the control of what happens in those spaces, and so maybe they can be more effective. However, some people feel that partnerships potentially screen out democratic accountability. Although they may involve local authorities that have been elected, they may well involve particular interest groups that may be seen to lack a sort of democratic legitimacy. A lack of democratic accountability is also a problem sometimes levelled at the fourth sort of strategy that's often employed, which is to make use of market mechanisms. So examples of these include carbon and biodiversity offsetting. There's been lots of criticisms levelled at offsetting. One of the areas of criticism has been it's just effectively a form of commodifying nature and the environment, putting an economic value on things that maybe should be seen to have their own particular value. A second related criticism is how do you actually set up the value for offsetting schemes? How do you put a value onto a range of quite diverse environments and natures? How do you address people's sort of personal connections or heritage or cultural values? The social and environmental justice aspects of landscape decision making has become a key part of the Landscape Decisions Programme, and in our view needs to become a key element of planning for future landscapes.